Welcome back, y'all. We're here again with Fool's Gold, and we got the front brakes to put on today. After having my C2500 lockup and hydroplane, I've been putting a lot more emphasis on the braking systems in my trucks. And while not as sexy as adding some horsepower, I knew if I was going to make it go faster, I'd have to budget in the brakes to slow it down too. So when it came time to put Fool's Gold back together, I knew I wasn't putting the stock brakes back on it. Instead, we are upgrading the front brakes with a Powerstop Z10 kit featuring drilled and slotted rotors, carbon ceramic pads, powder-coated calipers, and a set of Russell braided stainless brake hoses to top it all off. Alright, we're back on it. Got some rotors going on today. I chose to do this project now because the front suspension was already apart, having started a motor swap and painting the firewall, and that turned into a whole project of ripping down the front end, brand new suspension, drop coil, and I figured might as well let it snowball some more and get the new front brake system set. So my goal was definitely more confidence in the truck when it is finally back on the road, as I am building Fool's Gold to be driven and enjoyed. Doing it on a budget and in my driveway can be a bit of a challenge, so let's get into it and see how I got it done. Real briefly, I wanted to tell y'all why I chose Powerstop. My dad runs Powerstops on his truck, and my brother runs them on his
2004 GMC Sierra 2500. It's what we use to tow our dump trailer with.
And I've actually had the opportunity to drive both trucks, and I definitely seen a pretty big difference in the before and after, so definitely the first place I looked. And now we'll jump into the parts. As I said before, I went with the Powerstop Z10 kit, which included drilled and slotted rotors, carbon fiber ceramic pads, powder-coated OE-style calipers, and I also included a set of Russell stainless hoses, all new inner and outer wheel bearings, plus the seals, and some Dorman hardware to finish it all off. So we're officially set up. Let's get in these brakes. Unfortunately, SpeedCoast was just getting started when the teardown happened, so I didn't capture much footage of the original brake setup or the teardown process itself. So we'll start this job right from the bare spindle and work on getting all the components back together from there. As you can see, a little rust and corrosion from sitting out in the driveway. So I'm going to clean that off to start. We want to make sure that this is as clean as we could possibly get the spindle. And that's exactly what we did. Just took a wire brush on a drill and we gave a few passes over the spindle. For the little top areas, because I just painted there, because you got this seal that seals against the dust cover here, you don't want to get in there and rip it up, so I'd suggest this just a light brush against there to knock anything loose that you could get, or anything you missed that's tight up in there. That looks way better. Now it's time to kick it up with some grease. After I applied my coat, my dad hit me with a little driveway wisdom.
What am I doing?
Putting extra on?
Absolutely. More is better.
Solid advice for this job, and that takes us into prepping the wheel bearing. With our trusted new sidekick here, first we're going to start off by just dry fitting, making sure everything fits snugly, there's no play. They're pretty cool, aren't they? So while that's drying over there, I'm going to tell you about the other parts you're going to need to get the job done. And I will link down below a list of all the parts I used to put this back together and get it to the point where it is now on the front end. First off, new seal. 4739. Set 3 bearing. This is going to be the outer. Comes with the race and the bearing, but we won't need the race. Last but not least, set 6. This is going to be your inner wheel bearing. Same thing, no race needed, just the inner. So we got the bearings all staged out, ready to grease. You'll want to push the grease into all of the open areas on your wheel bearings. After that, be sure to give the rotor a coat of grease as well.
Too much grease is not a problem. Right. Around in a circle with it. All the way around it. There it is. Drop your bearing in.
And now it's starting to seem pretty real as the first bearing goes in.
Yep. Nice. Packed it right down in there. Cool.
Next up is going to be setting the wheel seals. Once you've made sure the rubber is facing up or in towards the engine bay, you want to also give these seals a quick coat of grease, and it's time to lightly work them in.
A little piece of wood. We set a little piece of wood over it, and then we
And a quick once over just to make sure they're sitting flush.
right there. Yep, just like that. And there as much as you can. More.
I've been told it's better to be safe than sorry, so let's hit them with another coat of grease. And finally, we're ready to get these rotors installed on fool's gold. Or so I thought. And yet another rain delay. Luckily it was a quick storm and I was back in the driveway as soon as possible. Another issue I ran into, which you may have seen in the last video, was a deformation on the spindle, and that kept me from being able to install the rotor, so definitely check that out. Luckily it was a pretty easy fix, and finally we're ready to slide these rotors on. First I want to stage my new hardware. Cleaned up as much of the backside of the rotor as I could. Prepped the front. Got the whole assembly together, both bearings and the seal is set, so let's see if we can get it on.
Push it all the way on so the seal goes in.
I think that is. One thing to be aware of, with the drilled and slotted rotors, you want to make sure that your slots are facing towards the back of the truck. So as you can see, back. Once the rotor's on, you can trim it out with your hardware.
Smooth, look at that, man.
Once you have the correct rotor runout set, it's time to install the cotter pin.
Shake up there with your hand, see if we can move it all. Seems good. Yep. Yep. Bend the cotter pin around. Start pointing those pliers, and then stick the dust cap on it.
We're in between storms, but keeping it moving on the front brakes. So here's everything you're going to get on the brake and caliper side of this kit in this box here, and the little brown boxes. Calipers, of course, looking sweet, powder coated red. Slides are in here, hardware for them. Brass washers, clips. And the Z26 kit includes the carbon ceramic pads. I'll start by greasing the backs of the pads. Very light coat. You only want to get it on the back of the pad, none on the front. So you want to clip this clip on like that. You want to make sure your ears are facing up and this is facing down. The arch is going to ride in the caliper like this. Move you guys back in frame. Your arch is riding down there. You just click that in like that. And you'll notice that this is going to be the inside pad. The outside pad is going to have these holes in it, and the pin will slide through. These are going to ride on this little set here, like that, bank. And that's all there is to it. Alright, so your best bet, let's put them on right. Drop this side in and over first, and then just kind of walk it on in. It's just that easy. Start lining your pins up and slide them through. Get in there. Why is one side on everything harder? Once you got your bolts in, torque them down to spec. Do the same exact thing on the other side, and you're done.
And to finish this front brake job off, it's time for the Russell hoses.
Not too sure what happened to the video of me putting it through the frame, but it's pretty simple. You just feed it through and it double nuts. Alright, to set the lines, you're going to want to make sure that you're in between the dog ears here to keep it from shifting around and being able to pop out. You got your 2 washers in your banjo bolt. Very important that the washer goes on top and the bottom. Push your banjo through and start her on. I did run a zip tie around the perch here for the line, and just gonna clip that off now that I got that set. And that finishes this install.
One last thing.
You want to check your brake hose clearance by cranking the wheel side to side and making sure you have no binding or any type of kinking or any issues in that department. It's good to have a second set of eyes, or like I'm doing here, just put a camera on it and watch it back, make sure everything's good.
And just like that, the front brake upgrade on Fool's Gold is now complete. It's a major step towards getting this square body back on the road and hopefully knocking out some of the multitude of projects we have going on here at SpeedCoast. Thanks for watching, liking, and subscribing. And I'll see you back for the next one. SpeedCoast out.